Show and Tell Boston After Dark. We're talking about our alternative relationship styles. And I am here with my panel. Can I get you guys to go around one by one and say your name and... can you tell me what you're saying?
Your name and your relationship style?
There we go. Your name and your relationship style. I am a heterosexual. And and a monogamous.
Hey, my name is Most Generous. I am also heterosexual and in a monogamous relationship.
My name is Dante. I'm also hetero and monogamous.
Prove it.
Show me your dick.
He's dating my cousin. I don't know why he's on this.
It's true.
Taylor's your cousin? I love her.
Hey.
I love her too.
I can see it now.
Nice.
Shout out Taylor.
I wish you were here.
Let's go.
Okay, so I'm August. I am polyamorous, and I tend to have open relationships. I am bisexual. And
My name is Kayla, or Kay Monet. I am pansexual, polyamorous, and right now I am practicing solo poly.
I'm Lamar, also known as Wolf, and I'm a heterosexual as fuck, and I'm known as a soft daddy.
A soft daddy?
Yes.
A soft daddy?
Yes.
Okay. A soft daddy, what does that mean, though?
A Duffy.
Okay. We'll get back to that.
I'm Gene. I'm a heterosexual, and I am not practicing any relationship styles at the moment.
Okay.
I'm practicing doggy.
Okay. This is Fun After Dark.
This is mine? This is not mine.
Hey, it doesn't matter.
I'm
We're practicing
smelling
poly
it.
right now. It doesn't matter. Just
Sorry, go ahead.
have any concept.
Cool.
We're sharing. It's communion.
So my name is Lucci, and I'm a pansexual,
Let's go!
and I'm open to whatever is best for the individual connection it is.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Yo, I'm extra guy, heterosexual male, and honestly, I'm just non-monogamous at the present.
What was that?
Hetero and non-monogamous.
Hetero non-monogamous, because I remember as she was saying, poly solo. I guess I'm practicing that. If you would really put it in, what she said.
Okay. Well, let's get into this because, personally, even though I'm not married, I just don't think non-monogamous relationships work out generally.
Why?
Well,
Yeah.
okay. You asked me why.
We mean
At
by
least
that.
personally for me, I can only deal with one girl. She's a fucking crazy bitch. I'm sorry. Sorry, that's your cousin.
He's talking about me.
But but also too, it's just I don't really have the capacity to be like, all right, I got this girl this one time, I got this girl that one time, and for me to really just pass on love like that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of difficult for me. But also too, when I come into my peers and when I hear them saying oh, they're practicing polygamy or polyamory or something with a P, you know what I mean? I just don't feel like it ever works out. And I'm just trying to hear everyone else's experiences.
Okay, so I like to, for folks who have never experienced polyamory or have never explored it, I like to compare it to friendships. For me, I'm a very free spirit. I'm a little bit of a hippie.
Like you smoke weed?
I don't like to smoke weed. I get high and paranoid.
That's not hippie. You're not hippie.
Okay, sorry, my fault. I'm not a hippie. But I think for me, I've always explored it in the sense of just having the capacity for multiple energies. You might not have that. Polyamory is not for everybody. Having open relationships is not for everybody. The same way I don't think monogamy is for everyone, I do think there should be a little bit more exploration before folks decide what relationship style they want to lock themselves into for life, right? In terms of the way that I've always phrased it, or put it out there is if you have a best friend or two best friends, those are people you love and you spend a lot of time and energy, you invest into them, you pour into those relationships. But if you meet someone cool, like, I don't know, at a gathering like this, you're not going to be like, fuck, like, I have another best friend. I can't be friends with them. You're not going to, like, cut that connection off before it even starts. And so for me, that's the way that I view my relationship. I love my partner. I'm really grateful for the experience that, like, we built together. But I'm not going to pretend that neither my partner nor I or any partners that I have in the future will never be attracted to someone else's energy, their personality, their body, whatever that might be. I like to have the freedom to explore that. I like my partners to have the freedom to explore that as well. So I can't speak to whether or not all like polyamorous or non-monogamous relationships work. I see a lot of monogamous relationships fail. I see a lot of cheating and lying and bullshit. So I think it's really like choosing what you want to commit to, having the communication and being like direct in that makes it or breaks it.
Well, does anyone have anything to build on that? Because I was gonna ask, do you experience jealousy a lot?
I do experience jealousy. I wouldn't say a lot. At the beginning of like exploring poly, because I was monogamous when I was younger. At the beginning of exploring poly, I did find that I was jealous a lot and I struggled with insecurity a lot. I think just like any vice, if you feed into it, it's gonna grow.
But you see it as a vice.
I do see jealousy as a vice. For me personally, I can't speak for anyone else, but I don't like the way it makes me feel. I feel like jealousy in myself stems from a feeling of maybe I don't measure up to another person. And so if I can explore that and break that down, if I feel confident in what I have to offer and who I am as a person and as a woman, jealousy is a lot less of an issue for me.
So just tell me, like, you as a person who was jealous and had to put that aside because of like the way that you kind of go about things in your sexual relationships or your romantic relationships, like how did you overcome your jealousy for the way that you view things now?
I think I started to see a lot of not information, but I did start to see a lot of folks when I started to explore the poly community. I started to see it described as jealousy is like your soul expressing a need for something, whether that's reassurance, whether that's confidence in yourself. When you explore like what is the root of this jealousy and what is really speaking to me about, I think it becomes a lot easier to feed, to actually like get to the root of the issue and to kill it there. So what I can do is if I'm feeling jealous, if my partner is seeing a new girl, whatever, I can be like, maybe I need a little more quality time with my partner. I can address it as such. Maybe I can be like, damn, like she's thick as fuck and I wish I had an ass and I can go do some squats or something. You know what I mean? But like, it comes down to what are you really feeling? What is jealousy? Because sometimes it's possessiveness, sometimes it's insecurity. Like it stems from different aspects of your life. And so for me, if I can just delve into that, it gets a little more clear.
So someone who's like, who's monogamous? You are?
Yeah. I'm open.
Did you say you guys are more monogamy? Like, no, you're polygamy.
He's monogamous.
You're monogamous?
Yeah.
And you're monogamous? Yeah. Okay. So you guys are insecure.
That's not what I'm saying. That's what I said.
That is not what that means, bruh.
What you heard?
So
What did she say?
is jealousy? So you feel jealousy is just a form of insecurity, though?
No, I think jealousy has a root in something. And I don't think jealousy, for me personally, jealousy as an emotion always stems from something deeper. So sometimes it is insecurity. Sometimes it's speaking to what you need. So like, for example, I don't know, quality time, like I mentioned before, that's a big one for me. I'm just like, damn, like you spending time with her. I would love like a date. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So those are the top two like examples.
Wait, what could jealousy be if it wasn't insecurity?
A need.
A need?
Yeah. I need you to help more around the house and...
Tell me, Kayla.
My experience with jealousy so far, so I started off in my earlier life before I was married. I felt like I was polyamory from the start. You know, shout out my 3 boyfriends, Justin, Manny, and Kyle. I love y'all.
Oh, JMK.
No, we're not. You were in this lifetime. That was an old lifetime, and I felt like and naturally,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It naturally spoke to me. Metamors are your partner's partners, and so I find in my life, I love and I want my partner to be so happy that if I can't fulfill a need, they can. And so what I'm finding out in this lifetime, as I really step out there and identify as myself, like, and I just introduce myself as people like that, when I come across jealousy, I find like some people, the people who misery enjoy company, and they try to pretend that they're poly, which I ran into, is they want to feel on top. And so when you try to feel on top, you want people to feel below you. And so my side of jealousy is I've come into contact with females who will come into a relationship that I have with a male partner and try to, I don't know if it's to solidify their relationship, to solidify their spot with that person, that they want to pull and try to demean what I already established with that person. And so when I come into jealousy, I understand like this person needs something that maybe I can't provide, but maybe my partner can go ahead to. And so I just try to be careful around individuals who try to break down other people in that aspect, just to make them feel better. And so people have to be aware when what they're projecting in the process of becoming and opening themselves to a polyamory relationship. It's natural to be jealous. You know, a lot of us come into this world needing love and affection, might not get it. And so when you come into a dynamic, when you have people who are in love and already in a relationship, you can feel like, I want that too. Like, how can I get that for myself? And so in the meanwhile of it, it's like, I don't feel it anymore because I've gone through the process. I've healed a lot of my open wounds. So when I go ahead and I see people who need that, I go ahead and give them opportunity to take my partner on full time. And I can sit back and I'm okay with the fact that, you know what, this person needs this. It's an opportunity for everyone to feel extra love, to feel extra, you know, growth in their evolution of relationship. And I see it's just a part of, it's like a weakness that you have to overcome. If you can get to a point where you love yourself, I've been in a lot of relationships where I had to grow to love myself. So jealousy is not something I feel anymore. And so if you can get to a point where you love yourself so much that you fulfill all of your needs, no one can make you jealous. No, and that's a whole different discussion. We'll get there. But to get to that point of self-love where no one can take away from you and no one can add for you, jealousy is not even it's a feeling. It just becomes a word.
That is a separate conversation. Hell yeah.
Oh, I got my own. But just to build. Oh, can I build off that?
Yes, and then one. Okay. Yep. Go ahead.
Okay, just to build off that, I would say the opposite of jealousy is compersion, and that is the feeling of
compersion.
Compersion. Did I teach you a new word?
Oh yes, you did.
Yes, you
What does
did.
that mean?
It's the feeling of being happy for someone, even if that happiness does not come from you. So, like, you watch your.
It's like selflessness.
Yeah, it is. It's a form of selflessness. It's a feeling of being happy for your partner's happiness or for someone else's.
That's
Compersion.
That's cute. I like that. Yeah. So like, if that comes from another partner, if it comes from a hobby or a passion, you know, the feeling. Like if you watch your partner, like, I don't know, paint or dance, and you're like, wow, they are loving that. Like that is a beautiful feeling for them. When you can experience that with your partner, with another partner, that is just, yeah. It's an amazing experience.
And it's compersion. So when I Google it, it won't say like, did you mean compassion?
It'll say, it might say that, but like you can find compersion too. Yeah, it's a word.
It's a word. Like metamors, your partner's partners, your friends that date your boyfriend.
Yes.
Wait, your friend of a friend that dates your boyfriend?
Something like that.
Dude.
A metamor is like, okay, a metamor would be like if I was dating you and then Taylor was dating you, but I wasn't dating Taylor. Taylor would be my metamor.
Sounds messy.
It can be.
There.
It can be.
If everyone's on board. So I was in a relationship where I was in a throuple.
I'm sorry, can you just want to get Mike?
I was in a relationship where I was in a throuple where at the end of the throuple.
Can you describe that for us?
A throuple is a 3-partnered relationship.
Like
where everyone's dating everyone and there's 3 people in it.
Oh.
I was in a throuple. At the end of the throuple, the female decided that she wanted to share with the male partner that I don't think you guys are good for each other, that you guys should break up. So that's what ended up happening. And so in that process, she was trying to break up our relationship so she can get closer to the male partner. And so it became a moment where it was like, it was no longer beneficial for myself and I had to remove myself. That's where the part comes in where it's like, you have to really be careful who you intertwine yourself with, and you have to trust the person that you're giving yourself to not leave you stranded and then run away with someone else. That's one of the biggest problems I'm coming out with polyamory right now. I have to be honest.
I feel like I feel like
Cheesy. Sorry.
Ja.
it's all good, bro. I feel like when it comes down to relationships, like I usually get like invested a lot into it. So like it's hard for me to like, share my partner with somebody or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I might not look at the like
Do you have an ego problem?
can I say ego? No, because I have that selflessness, like she said. Like I have that, like, oh, if I see somebody like making my girl happy, then I'll be like, I'm happy for that. Like I'm not the dude that's gonna be like, oh shit, he just made my girl laugh. Like what the fuck? I ain't that dude. You know what I mean?
But what if it's like the Freddie Gibbs situation where it's like his girlfriend is a porn star, so it's like that's something that she likes to do. So it's like, are you okay with that? Would you still love her?
I cannot personally be with somebody that's having like sex with another person. Like like with another dude. Like I just can't connect my spirit to it. You know what I mean?
If it was a female.
If it was a female, it doesn't. For me, I have a different perception of sex. So like, I think like sex between two females.
No,
I'm not being sexist.
No, that's the difference between polyandry and polygamy. Polygamy is having a man with multiple partners that are females, and polyandry is a woman having multiple male partners. There's a difference.
Polyamory being like the overarching term that encompasses both and more. And more. There's like so many.
Right.
Lucci, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I'm open to my girl having a girlfriend, but not to her having a boyfriend.
Yes. And that's so biased, and it kills me because it's just like,
can I please get like your understanding of the situation, of like your understanding of this conversation, and like
then you got to walk with your partner through it. If you can hold their hand while they're moving through it and really like hold it down, it's like it can be transitioning through anything. Like, are you going to be with that person that you dedicated to, be an anchor partner for them while they go through life, and understanding that they're going to be highs and lows, and that's anything in a relationship, whether it's monogamy or polyamory.
Facts.
Can you hold your person down?
Facts.
That's what it goes down. That's what it gets down to.
That's true.
That's a fact.
Lucci, let me hear your thoughts.
Well, what context was mad shit that was talked about? So,
I kind of want to hear your thoughts about like how you view polygamous and monogamous relationships compared to like the thoughts we've heard so far.
Well, I think that every human being should be free to do as their spirit wishes, as long as it doesn't harm anybody. Period. And if it brings pleasure, oh no.
When you say harm, like, if it made me jealous, you kind of harmed me, right?
Well, no harm in any sense of the word. Like,
is that true? Am I just being toxic?
It could be malicious. It could be malicious intent. But again, that goes back to intention versus impact. You may not mean no harm, but it still might cause some problems. And then it comes to like, okay, how much is this worth it to me? Do I fix this? And but that goes back to communication as well. All the different variations of relationships that are out there, as long as 2 or more consenting adults are communicating, open, safe, and honest consistently, nothing should ever really go wrong. And if it does, you'll catch it before it really gets bad, and it can end before it gets horrible.
No, that's a lie.
That's
a lie.
What part of it is a lie?
Because there's multiple people that like that get into relationships that are like, even though they're consenting adults, like there's just things that just doesn't work.
Can we talk about the fact that a lot of people are walking in adult bodies, but they haven't emotionally matured to become adults, and they're children in adult bodies?
I agree
and
with
that
that.
breaks down that breaks down to any type of connection or any type of relationship. So we have people who are running from themselves that don't understand, like, maybe let me try polyamorous, and they don't understand that they're not able to commit to someone, and they're not able to love someone because they haven't reached a point where they've gone over their childhood traumas or whatever it is that got them to be halted and where they stopped. And so they're not giving out love, they're giving out a fake illusion to, this is where narcissists come in. They give it out a fake illusion to, let me get this person hooked, and then they're stuck with me, and then I can pull out of their energy and feed themselves up without fulfilling themselves. Are perfect, regardless if it's monogamy or polyamorous. A relationship's only going to work if you're filled with yourself, like the cup half full, empty. If you can't fill yourself up of happiness and joy, no type of relationship is going to work, and it's always going to be toxic. And I'm finding that a lot of people who claim polyamory right now are just monogamous people who like to cheat and like to feel like they're one-upping on someone just so they can feel like they're winning in something when maybe their whole life they weren't. And it's becoming a big problem in the community that it's not even able to grow. And I'm coming into Boston as a new person, and I'm getting experimented with because I'm trying to open up with people that I'm coming across. And it's like, yeah, maybe I can try that. But at the end of the day, they haven't matured enough to even have a regular monogamous relationship. So it's a lot to do with self-love. And I can tell you, it's kind of a step game. I'll tell you this. I do believe that everyone is on the Kinsey scale. No one's 100% straight. I don't care what no one says. No one's 100% straight.
I'm 100% straight.
No, you're not.
Kinda gay. To her.
No one's 100% straight on the Kinsey scale. Very few are on that left-sided side. And to say that, though, but it's a process of understanding, growing, and healing yourself to get to a point where, and I don't want to bring religion into this, but unconditional love at the root of everything is where you can actually open up to understand that everyone has gone through something and everyone should be loved and accepted for who they are. But we live in a world where we're trying to pretend to become something else, and a lot of us are just fitting into society, and next thing you know, we're almost at the end of our age, and it's like, this is the life that I had. And it's like we're missing out on so many experiences, and people work as reflections for ourselves, and we're cutting ourselves off from growing and experiencing other reflections of people, and which we can like grow and add to ourselves and evolve in a way that it's like we're so scared of people, we're so cut off. So let me find this one person that I can attach myself to for the rest of my life and just stay there. And I feel like that's kind of sad. But at the same time, if that works for you, it works for you.
Well, some people will argue like, are you polyamorous because maybe you have trust issues with one person? But also too, some people would ask like, are you monogamous because, you know, you can only put your trust in one person? Like, when you say those things, like, how do you guys feel about that?
Yo, I can go first?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I feel like, me personally, I feel like I would like to put my trust into one person. I would like to be vulnerable with one person so I can protect that one person. Like, I wouldn't want to, well, like, if, like she said, if my girl had a girlfriend, like, and like we were part of a trio, a triplet or whatever.
A throuple.
A throuple.
Not a triplet.
Get your terms right, bro. Get your terms right, my nigga.
I ain't one of them.
Triplets came out the same womb.
politically correct motherfuckers, man. I'm from Florida, goddamn. Fuck you talking about?
Okay, go ahead.
But what I'm trying to say is, I would like to be vulnerable with one person, so that's how I feel. Like, you know, I don't want to have to spread my vulnerability that thin, because I feel like that's a part of my nature, you know what I mean? So like that allows me to have that connection with that person pure. Yeah. And like it's more about like being a pure connection instead of just like
you're not built to have like all these like intimate connections. You're built to have like a certain amount, because that's how I feel like I am.
I feel like you can't. I feel like
I'm built different, but
like
that goes to say for the community as a people, that means we don't trust each other.
That's true.
That means we share. That means we share. That means we don't feel comfortable enough as a community to be vulnerable with each other.
That's true.
And that means like, regardless of sexuality, if you can't connect with someone because you feel like maybe I can't be my whole self with them, that should speak on the fact that maybe we need to build our community trusts and our bonds more than, you know, anything else. And that's kind of sad. Oh.
That's true. A lot of it thrives from like paranoia and shit like that. Like a lot of the black community too, because like we always trying to op each other, trying to kill each other. Like, it's crazy. For me personally, I always look at it like this. I don't trust no man. But if this my girl, I don't trust no man, bro. Cool. Everybody but my great grand. You know what I mean?
Sad though.
But that's just how I feel. I understand that. And that's a part of my trauma. You know what I mean? That's something that I'm not afraid to express.
And
but
we gotta talk on the black people in the community too. not being able to connect with themselves to connect with each other. No, go ahead. I'm done. I'm gonna cry.
I just wanted to say, like, the only form of connection that we limit ourselves to one person in the society is romantic. Like, we don't say I have one grandfather, so I can't be close to both of them. We don't say I can't be intimate with both my best friends. You know what I mean? Like, not intimate, but you know what I mean? Like,
I can't have more than one best friend.
But you know what I mean? Like, that's the only, it's not the only form of relationship style. And there are so many other ones to explore where you are able to share more of yourself with other people. And sharing yourself with other people, multiple people, does not lessen the depth of that connection.
And it makes you grow in an aspect.
It really does.
I'm learning that through these times.
I was gonna actually add on to that. I have probably like 5 best friends, I would say right now, but they.
Amen to you.
I can't rock like that.
Hold on.
That's just not how I rock, bro.
No. Let me explain though.
You have 5 good friends.
No,
I love your
have
crew.
5
I gotta
best
tell you
friends,
that.
and
It's a
I can say
crew.
this
I got like a select
with my whole
few,
chest.
man.
So like, there are friends that I met in high school. I can count for 2 of them. Well, actually, one of them I met in middle school, but then in high school is when we became best friends. And the other one, me and him, off rip, the moment I met him in high school, we was connected. Like, that's it. And then another one came afterwards, like early college years. And then 2 more came. They're in a relationship together, so they had a bundle package. I'm always like hanging out with them and stuff. But they met me at a phase where I'm no longer a high school student. I'm not even a college student. I am an adult. And I met them through, my work, like working as an artist and stuff like that. But my connections with them and the things that like we do outside of working as an artist, that like I was able to bond with them hard. Mm-hmm. Like they helped me through tough times. My dad was in the hospital type tough. Oh shit. So I can firmly say like they are best friends, even though they don't have the mileage in terms of years known compared to my other ones. Each and every one of them that I would dedicate as like or title as a best friend, I've been through some shit with. And there's like, when we're talking about vulnerability, there's levels of vulnerability that all of my best friends will have. They might have different degrees, but they might surpass any person that I've ever been in a relationship with. In the same way that somebody that I'm in a relationship with, so like I said, I'm monogamous, so it's one person for me in terms of my relationship, but that does not stop me from being vulnerable. And the vulnerability that I shared with that person, like my ex, my most recent ex, it's a different grade, it's a different brand. Like there's just certain ways that I interact. Like we all have been interacting with each other like this whole time, but we all have different ways that we're interacting with one another. That is going to be a consistent thing just like across our entire existence. You can't interact with the same exact person the same way because we are all built different. So in terms of polygamy and being polyamorous, and anything under those spectrums of like alternative relationships and sexualities, it's like we're not the same, and you can still give energy, but it's up to you to determine how much you can give. It's that sense of discovery. Like I wouldn't have been able to say when I was in high school that I was gonna have 5 best friends. Like y'all was saying, the immediate reaction when I said I had 5 best friends, I would have had the same thing. And I'm like, there's no way 5 people are gonna know me on a deep, intimate level, whether they were in a relationship with me or they were just my friends. I wouldn't have thought about that, but it's something that I experienced. It's not something I intended. It's something that just happened as I lived. And I feel like I could be wrong, but it's something that like most of us are taught to be monogamous growing up. We don't have the sense of like being in a polygamous relationship, and it's through our experiences that we determine like, hey, maybe I might be open to trying this out. So some people are more closed off than others, obviously. But at the end of the day, somebody mentioned it before, but it's like we are literally built different. If it's not for you, it's not for you. Like the idea of, like I talked to this with one of my best friends because she was asking me about it. I was like, if the idea of you being in a polygamous relationship turns you off, then it sounds like it's not for you. Mm-hmm. That's it. You don't have to force yourself to try this. Right. Because at the end of the day, if you feel like, hey, I get one boyfriend because she's straight. If I get one boyfriend and that's the one for me, that's the one I can give my energy to, that's the one I want to dedicate myself to, then that's you. That's you. Nobody's telling you you have to be other.
I just want to add on to that to say we have to understand that relationships in general, and I'm not just talking boyfriend girlfriend or boyfriend whatever. We have to understand that you and your 5 best friends are in a relationship, are in a heterosexual, asexual relationship, saposexual relationship. You guys connect off of intellectual conversations. You guys connect off of having the same hobbies. You guys connect off of many different ways. You guys are just not fucking each other, if I can say that online. And you guys have to understand it's still a relationship, and you guys have to, and it's a thing of saying like you love every single one of them, no matter when they came into your life, no matter what other circumstances are. You guys connect in a way, and that's what it is. So when you bring sexualization into it and you add sex into the relationship, it's just another tier. You have to, at the end of the day, you have to be able to respect, trust, and love the people that are in your life and receive that back from them. That's where it comes down to.